We left Fairbanks this morning at about 6 o'clock and drove about 80 miles north, and we picked up the Dalton Highway. The Dalton Highway is known to Alaskans as the Haul Road, and to you folks in the lower 48, it is the road that the Ice Road Truckers is filmed on. The road is from its beginning to Prudhoe Bay is 415 miles, and it parallels the Alaska pipeline more or less. We're going to mile 335 at a place called Happy Valley, which is on the north side of the Brooks Range, where the Brooks Mountains actually melt down to some small rolling foothills, and that's where we'll meet up with Mike to fly us out in, I believe it's 70 degrees north air. We'll get all that when we get there. And so we've got 335 miles of great scenery on a dirt road. Looks like it's rained a lot up here in the past because the road is quite muddy, even though it's a beautiful cloudless day. We couldn't ask for a better day to travel. It's cool, cloudless, no bugs, at least so far no bugs, and we're looking forward for a good trip. That fog you see ahead is the Yukon River. I got apples, Nutella, bread, and food bars in there. How's that?
Perfect.
This river that you see out here to your right is the beginnings of the Chandler River. This flows east and then south and eventually makes its way into the Yukon River. It would take 2 to 4 weeks of a wonderful trip, and a hunting trip if you want to put a rubber raft in here and float this all the way down to the Yukon. Then you'd have to float down to the Yukon River Bridge where we pass coming over. It would take between 2 weeks and a month to do. We're all here at Happy Valley, Greg the cameraman and myself. Ron Williams and Casey Kaltenborn are on their way up from Palmer. They should get in tomorrow. We're going to fly out tonight. It's about 7 o'clock at night. It stays light to 11:30 here on the 12th of August. So even though the days are getting shorter, there's still a lot of sunlight. We're going to take a 35-minute flight out and set up camp tonight. If we can get all out tonight, then we're going to look for caribou tomorrow. Because in Alaska, we can't fly and hunt on the same day, unless it was from a public airport, like an international airport. We've got our gear laid out. We've got I've got Ron's gear, my gear. Greg's got his gear here. I've got my rifle. We're going to bring a shotgun with us in case we see ptarmigan. It's a ball-and shotgun, so we can also use it to take caribou. And as a second rifle, I have a .350 Remington Magnum, the old model 600 with an 18-inch barrel with a plastic ventilated rib on it. But hopefully the rifle that I'll use will be my Harrison & Hussey 450-400. And it's 40 miles north of the Arctic Circle, but diabetics still have to do the stuff to keep them healthy. First of all, I got to test my blood sugar. I just had a meal, which my doctor told me I shouldn't have had, spaghetti and a soda. And we're a little high, so got to give myself a shot of insulin. Not all diabetics have to stay inside and have no life. As a diabetic, I've hunted in Africa 8 or 9 times. We're up here well above the Arctic Circle. Climb Kilimanjaro. Diabetics can do it all. Just take care of yourself. We came to this valley in the Brooks Range. The scenery is absolutely spectacular, but visibility is not that great as far as distance we can see. Spaghetti tonight at 8 o'clock at 70 North Air with Mike and Greg, and then we fly out tonight about 9 o'clock. It stays light to 11:30. We can hunt tomorrow. Well, we'll see. And you'll be out tomorrow with the rest of our gear. Yeah, 2 more guys coming in. The other guys coming in, they have the satellite. Morning. This is the 13th of August. We flew in last night from Happy Valley at mile 335 on the Hall Road. The pilot's name was Bob, and the air service we flew in with was Mike's, let's see, it's Mike's 70 degrees North Air, or 70 North Air, because he's based out of Dead Horse. We flew 60 miles to get here last night, and of course we can't hunt on the same day that we're airborne. We flew 60 miles and didn't see movement, didn't see anything. We passed up going to a ridge, which was high country where we could see 10 miles in every direction. We came to this valley in the Brooks Range. The scenery is absolutely spectacular, but visibility is not that great as far as distance we can see. So I was kind of cussing a little bit last night because there weren't any caribou anywhere to be found. We wake up this morning, there was one on the ridge behind the tent, and then over behind me, as you see, the whole side of this mountain is just covered with hundreds of caribou. It's going to be hard getting up to the caribou that are up high with a 450-400 double rifle, even though I have a scope on it. But if we can take a look at this little first hillside right across from this small stream, there's several dozen caribou over there. From this distance, I don't see anything with a great rack on it, but we're going to go over there and take a look, go down to the stream, cross the stream, and then see what we can see. Okay? I thought we lost him, but he's still there. The problem is it's too long a shot for double rifles. I'm going to get close and then just see what I can do. The rifle that we're going to hunt with today, is a 450-400 box lock ejector made in 1920 by Harrison and Hussey. It's got a Swarovski scope on it with quick detachable mounts. It's an ejector gun. Because I'll be using the scope, I put this leather cheek piece on it to raise my cheek up just a little bit, but it doesn't quite go as enough as I'd like it to. And if you just saw that click, take a close shot of this click right here, my ejectors have lost time this summer. Even though the triggers are pulled, notice how the ejector on the right barrel works. So I've got to be careful of that because it will eject an unfired cartridge. Okay, safety's on. Let's go hunting. .5% of the herd is moving to our right. We've got a few caribou just across the river moving to our left, and we're going to go scout those out first. A small herd of caribou is coming down to the stream. But up in the back, towards the base of the mountain, maybe 100 feet or so, this side where the dirt comes down and meets the grass, there's a big bull. He's decided to lay down. So we're going to go after him and see what the best strategy is to get him. Okay? Let's go. Straight ahead of us, 3 or 4 caribou.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, they're going to spook. They've already seen us. But I'm going to move to the left because if they spook, I want them to run to the right. I don't want them to run in front of those big bulls that are over there. They're already moving. Yeah. So we got to get going. But we're just going to wait here until they pass. Because those bulls aren't spooked yet and they don't see us, but these 3 have. And I was hoping we were going to see them and they were going to run to the right. So we're not going to move for a little bit. Okay, they're right in front of the first caribou on the left is right in front of the 3 bulls. The second one is coming in on the bulls now. I'm going to get down this draw and try to make my way down the stream and across. If I'm not in sight of where the bulls are, then hopefully they won't see me. Well, okay. Let's cross up here. I thought we lost him, but he's still there. The problem is it's too long a shot for double rifles. I'm gonna get close and then just see what I can do. Can you see them? They're up there, they haven't moved. But that's probably 400 or 500 yards. Absolutely impossible for a double rifle. The only thing we can do is just wait them out and see if they'll come this way. And they're gone.
Oh, he's getting up.
Huh?
One's up.
Okay. Now let's just stay still. Now, all of those are nice caribou. The one on the left has got more points. The one in the middle is a nice end. If I had a 270 with a big scope, he'd be done. But I'm shooting a damn double rifle. We learned a good lesson, which I guess if you spend enough time out here hunting, you'll know. The 3 bulls that we saw, the old bulls, great racks on them. They stayed back on the mountain with 4 in the high country, and there were 400 yards at least of open space all around them, except of course for the mountain behind them. That's how they got to be old bulls. If you saw the video of the younger cows, the younger bulls and the calves, they were going everywhere, down by the water, near the brush, where they were susceptible to grizzly and moose. The old bulls didn't do that. The old bulls stood away, and that's how they got to be old bulls. It's interesting how caribou move. They graze at 20 miles an hour. A couple hours ago we started our stock. There were hundreds of caribou all over the hills. Now there's only one feeding over here in the hill. Everybody else is gone. There'll be more. We've got 7 days, but it was a great day, great morning. We're going to have some lunch and then go out again, hopefully after the sprinkles stop. But I only see one caribou over there. Actually it's two, so it must be a cow and a calf. They're right next to each other. Oh, there's another one. So they're still here. There's one up on the ridge line, right on the horizon. There's a couple more coming down. Nothing down here in the brush. Nothing on the upper hillsides. Oh, there's one. Okay, now we're picking them up. Okay, there's a few. Yeah, there's a small herd. There may be 30 of them. Too far away to see what the horn is. But they're there. It's going to be a fun week. So, I don't know if a grizz spooked them or not, but I don't have a grizzly tag for this area, so even if we see a grizz, we can't do anything. But we'll see if we can wait out some caribou. These animals are big enough that if they come through the brush or behind a horizon, we'll see their horns before we see them. And at the same time, we'll see their horns before they see us. So we saw 3 good-sized bulls come down into here 10 minutes ago. I haven't seen them leave yet. Don't know if they're still here or not. They were running fast and something would have spooked them. But that hillside up there was covered with the caribou straight ahead of us. When we were having lunch, and there's nothing there now. So I don't know if a grizz spooked them or not, but I don't have a grizzly tag for this area, so even if we see a grizz, we can't do anything. But we'll see if we can wait out some caribou. He's down this way, but the 3 other bulls are not, and they're not the 3 bulls we saw this morning. They're different ones. Well, the first day of the hunt, we got a reasonable animal. The animals here don't grow as big in body size or in horn size as they do in the Alaska Peninsula and out towards Adak Island in that way. But for up here in the Arctic for the first day, and by the way, we're 67 miles south of the Arctic Ocean. I mean, we're way, way out of here. He's got a good horn, he's got a good shovel, relatively good size. He's not going to score high in the record books because he doesn't have a lot of points. But that's okay. It was a great shot, great kill. There were 3 caribou like this, good, good sized bulls. And when I say good size, I mean good size for this area. They came down from the hill on this way. I saw them come down here running, but I didn't see them leave. So I knew they had to be here. So Greg and I made our way down, and I thought we would head to some high country and try to look downstream. Greg said, "Cal, look, behind us, behind me, this guy crossed." I had enough time to lay down and get 1 shot off with my double rifle. Now I always shoot a double rifle, second trigger or the left barrel first. That's just a habit I've been in for the last 20 years that I've been shooting double rifles. My bullet went straight through his shoulders, broke his shoulder, went through the heart lungs, exited the other side, and the animal dropped like a shot. If you take a look over here, he fell right here. His hind legs were right here. His hind legs were still kicking a little bit when I got to him. His nose was buried down here in the green swamp water. Just to make the filming a little bit better, we drug him up here to take our pictures of him. So I've got my harvest tag filled out, and for you folks that are not Alaskans, let me show you what a harvest ticket is. A harvest ticket for my first caribou. The days of the month are down the right and left side of the ticket. The months are across the top and bottom. So today is Saturday the 13th. I took my knife and I X'd out the 13. I X'd out July, August, September. I X'd out August. That's the very first thing that has to be done in Alaska when an animal is down. The harvest ticket must be filled out immediately. So that's done. My hunting license is here with my harvest ticket numbers recorded right here. That's done. There are a lot of state troopers in the area, and I'm sure we'll get checked on, but they're just doing their job, and that's okay. The next step that we have to do to avoid any violation is salvage all of the meat. No wanton waste. That's a big issue here in Alaska. If we left this animal here and just took the horns, 7 days in jail and it's a felony. If we leave some of the meat on the animal, it's a misdemeanor, I believe, but it's a fine between $200 and $500. And so what we have to do is we have to take all of the rear quarters, the front quarters, the meat of the ribs, the back straps, the inner tenderloins, and all the meat of the neck. When we're done, we're going to take a couple of pictures of the animal so we have documentation how well we cleaned it out or how well I cleaned it out, and then we'll be all done. It's the end of a perfect day. Even in the middle of August, it's not going to get dark till about 11:30 at night. The highlight was not just the caribou, but seeing that grizzly coming down towards the caribou when we were making our second trip back for meat. Take care. Thanks for watching. Exciting second hippo here in the Cheredi River in June of 2013. He was probably 80 yards away, maybe a bit more. I rested over the sticks. Again, headshot, just missed the brain, sent him down, sent him into convulsions, and he was moving. He'd go under, then he'd come up to take a breath and go under. I put in a few more shots. I got at least 2 body shots in. He moved to the other side of the river to try to beach himself, well over 100 yards away. Andre, my trusted PH, put in a couple of shots, and I think he's done.
Oh man, you look ready to kill something with that. Yeah.
And what do we have for spices, Casey? Tabasco and what else?
Spice salt and regular salt and a few other magic ingredients.